I don't know. I don't know if you want to talk about funny medical things that happen to us.
Talk about anything. Talk about funny ones.
Because it doesn't always have to be serious conspiracies and crazy stuff.
Well, it's not just about conspiracies, it's about being aware.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Not just conspiracies, but like the darkness of the medical system is pretty heavy sometimes. So sometimes
It
it's
is.
it's funny to talk about when you got involved with a lavage.
When when I had the patient, or no, it wasn't. I was a tech.
Yeah, I know, but
I was a tech,
you were in nursing
and
school.
a patient overdosed, and I heard lavage, and I was like, never seen that. I would love to see that.
And I was like, I don't want anything to do with the lavage. We haven't lavaged anybody in forever because it doesn't work. I mean, it works, but it's got to be extreme. But the doctor was like, yeah, go ahead. And these two other nurses were like, yes, haven't done lavage in forever. And I'm like, ew, it's so aggressive and so gross. And
I didn't know what to think. I was like, we're gonna pump a stomach.
yeah,
I
we're
want
gonna
to
pump
see
a stomach,
that.
and
I didn't know
and
that.
boy, did ya! What happened? Oh no! What happened? Oh no!
Nothing pretty.
Nothing good.
I was I was a nursing student and I was so excited and I was standing at the edge of the bed and I'm staring at the patient and I'm watching the nurses do their thing and all of it starts happening and my mouth is wide open, mind you, and out comes the vomit into my mouth because I was like,
Would you say it was more than 200 miles an hour when it hit you, or less?
oh my God. And that's not the only thing that was in my mouth as a nurse. Well,
What were you doing? Yikes!
I had pee.
Why are you drinking pee?
I was not. I was helping with a catheter and I was holding male genitals down so that the urethra was visible and we start putting the Foley in and trying to. Male patient starts peeing and I'm like this trying to help. I'm
Yeah, you
in the
gotta keep a
patient's
distance. You can't be like. There's only one hole on a
Well,
man.
I guess we all go through our
I
learning.
mean, on a female, you got to get your head up in there sometimes, especially like as they get older, everything slides down and in. So, like those of you who are nurses know exactly what I'm talking about. You're trying to start a catheter on a 90-year-old woman, and the urethra is basically inside the vagina. And if you're not a nurse and you're listening, watching this, I'm sorry, but this is what nurses deal with. And so you have to like pull and separate and stick your head up there and try to find.
It's real, it's true.
Yeah, and it's nasty. I don't ever want to have to do that again. No, thank you. No, I don't want to. No, I like my job. I still get to do nursey stuff, but I don't touch patients anymore. I'm good with that. Yeah, like my colleagues used to always be like, "Oh, I'm always going to be an ER nurse. I don't want to lose my skills." Like, what skills? You got bow staff skills? Or you like Napoleon Dynamite? Like, I got like nunchuck skills, like an IV. You don't want to lose an IV skill. Why? Because that might come in handy when you're walking around saving people's lives, putting in IVs. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What kind of skills are you like not want to? Anyway,
Well, that is a good topic because I feel like that's a trap that is normalized again. So much things that are normalized in the nursing world that even I believed that, you know.
that you'd lose your skills, or that they
Oh
were
yeah,
somehow the skills were
because
what
everyone
made
talked
you
about
a
it.
great nurse.
Don't leave the emergency room for a standalone ER because you're gonna lose your
You
skills.
can, and I was
You
like,
can't go work in a GI clinic because you'll never be able to be an ER nurse again because you're gonna lose your skills.
it's like,
What?
and
That's such a trap.
you're talking about how why would I want to continue to work in an ER? It's the one of the highest stress nursing jobs there is. It's nonstop eating from a shit fire hydrant and you just want to keep doing that forever. I did.
Can we talk about how awful the ER is and why it's so awful? Because
Sure.
it's not even because there's so many emergencies.
No,
the ER is
no.
not awful because of that. It's
No,
awful
when you get
because
a
it's not emergencies.
Right. When you get a legit emergency, it's actually a pretty wonderful place to work because you get to, I hate to say this, you get to save a life. But you literally do when it's an emergency. You have that skill set. But it's so rare. Even in trauma centers, I worked several trauma centers. Being a travel nurse in the ER, we went from trauma center to trauma center. That's what they liked about us. Like, oh, you have trauma experience. So every place we went to was a friggin' trauma center. And even in the trauma centers, traumas you got were, if you're not a nurse, forgive me, they were fun, okay? But it's sort of like being a Navy SEAL and never being able to go into combat. That wouldn't, and then so like when you do go into combat, you're like, yeah, that was great. I mean, yeah, bad things happen, but we got to do what we were trained to do. It feels like the genuine
thing you're there to do.
Right.
When people get in accidents, when people's chests are sliced open, whatever it is that caused them harm,
I'm not reveling. I'm not saying that what happened to them was fun. I'm saying that you get to use the training that you got and you get to help people. And it's rare. It happens, but it's just not, it's not enough. 98% of the stuff that comes into the ER is bullshit. And maybe I'll be generous, 95% of the stuff that comes in the ER is bullshit. 4% or 3% is pretty serious stuff, and 2% is trauma. So, and that's if you're a trauma center. If you're not a trauma center, even the traumas can be bullshit. Remember when they started up-leveling every elderly ground level fall to a trauma? I don't remember which facility that was, but it doesn't matter. But they were like, oh, we're going to make every, above 70 ground level fall co-trauma. And it was like, what? You don't even know. Was there a head strike? Are they on thinners? Like, you don't even know. And so they would activate this co-trauma and everybody would come in. And it's like, I got a skin tear right here. And like, all right. That'll be $100,000.
Yeah. I think that's why.
Yeah,
for sure why.
Yeah, probably.
You can always find the why in healthcare by following the money trail.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
They'll couch it as
protocols.
We saved Nana. Once a year, we'll save Nana, who actually had a bleed, and neuro was called before she got there, and we saved Nana. We drilled a hole in her brain and relieved the pressure, and she was able to watch at least 10 more episodes of Jerry Springer before she passed in the ICU. It was worth it. Worth it. But yeah, what were we talking about? I don't know. Oh, just not being able to, not being afraid to lose your skills or not be the best. I'm an ER nurse, have that badge. I guess it's that thing that nurses do where they put on their badge all their little BSN, all their little
credentials,
all their credentials, all the initials that they are, and I don't care.
I am God.
Yeah, I am smart. It's like walking around going, I'm smarter than you, and now because it's right here on my badge. Now you know how much smarter I am than you. There's a lot of that in nursing, one-upping.
It's not just nursing, it's all of healthcare and medicine.
Well, yeah.
Just anything in life. Everyone's trying to one-up the other person.
Sure.
I stopped trying to do that because that got exhausting. I'm
smarter than everybody else, but that's just because I'm smarter than everybody else.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Are you?
Are you? Yeah, no, I'm...
Before we started recording, he was just staring at himself on the camera. And I had to call him out.
I was like this. I was like, a little fat here. I might start Ozempic. I might get Ozempic cheeks.
Honestly, okay, I do want to ask a question without any reference to your job. When you read messages about people on Ozempic, can you tell us the common...
I had one today.
Please tell us.
And the poor patient was like, oh, yeah, I'm on blah, 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 GLP-1. And it's been 2 weeks, and now I have sulfur-smelling burps and then immediately diarrhea. And my job makes it so that I can't leave to go to the bathroom right away, and this is a real problem. What should I do? And I wanted to write back, stop using this horrible effing evil drug.
So did she say what she ate? Like, why does she have sulfur-smelling burps?
Well, it's a side effect because
that's one of the side effects?
Yeah, it's one of the side effects of GLP-1s. Because of the slower gastric emptying, you have this fermentation process that's going on in your stomach that's not supposed to happen. So you get, like, when food breaks down with the acid, you're going to get gas, and that gas can be sulfur smelling. And I don't know why it correlates to immediate diarrhea. I don't understand that, but you know, it's happening. Imagine, oh no. And people just sign up for this. Well, I guess I'm gonna get another shot in there every week. Like, can you imagine being at work, be like, Terry, do you have those quarterly reports? Excuse me, Terry, I'll be right back. Like, is that better than being a little fat? I don't think so. I would rather be a little fat and go to the gym once a day than... You know, and I feel bad for this person because... You know, they're trying to improve their life, but they're like, instead they're like, you know, like, or you could be in a calorie deficit, walk for 30 minutes a day.
I gotta stop you there because there's been a lot of controversy. Ooh, I'm crying. On,
You're welcome.
Your statement about being in a calorie deficit. Can you be more specific so people aren't like, well, if I eat 1,000 calories a day, I'm still starving myself, so it's the same thing as if I took Ozempic, you know?
Sure, yes. The reason Ozempic puts you in a calorie deficit is because it shuts down your drive to eat food. But it also shuts down your gastrointestinal system. Like, this is why the person has the sulfur burps and immediate diarrhea, is because their stomach is holding on to food for way longer than it's supposed to. And so you're not only in a calorie deficit, you are in a nutritional you're nutritionally depleted. So you can, without Ozempic, I don't mean to point out Ozempic, sorry, without a GLP-1, you can put yourself into a appropriate calorie deficit. I'm not saying 1,000 calories a day. For your particular needs, it might be 1,800, it might be 2,000, depending on if you're 6'5" and 240 pounds, your calorie deficit may be 2,200 calories a day, 2,500 calories a day. I don't know. Each person is different and needs to be evaluated for what their basal metabolic rate is. With that said, you can eat healthy, nutritious food in a calorie deficit, still get the benefits of weight loss without nutritionally starving your body. That's why you don't lose 30% of your lean mass when you're in a calorie deficit. And especially if you're lifting weights, you're doing weight training in a calorie deficit, definitely won't lose, you'll lose a tiny amount of lean mass. But Ozempic, you lose like minimally 20% lean body mass, average 30%, up to 40%. And I shouldn't have said Ozempic, on a GLP-1, whatever, Wegovy, Zepbound, all of them, doesn't matter. Any of those GLP-1s, you're going to be losing a large amount of lean body mass. That means bone. The
argument, though, is even without GLP-1s, you still lose bone density if you're malnourished.
No, you wouldn't be malnourished. You would not be malnourished if
no, but that's like the argument I'm saying.
Well,
that people are having.
Well, but they don't understand. They don't understand the science of nutrition. A calorie deficit does not mean malnourished.
They then talk to a nutritionist. That's what people say.
What, like they should be?
Like, don't listen to anyone else.
So I guess they're saying, well, I will be fully nourished while on my GLP-1.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. But you're still paralyzing your GI system.
Somehow risking blindness, vision loss.
Yeah, and there's another newer thing that's happening because the GLP-1s reduce your desire to eat. Apparently, they're finding out that it reduces your desire for all things.
It seems like every med created by Pharma reduces every desire for anything.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to mass decrease pregnancies and also make money off of pregnancies through IVF. I think they're doing some shady things.
All that's true.
And people need to be awake, because when people are awake, things change. When people are asleep, they keep running us down.
Yeah. And with the reduction in desire with the GLP-1s, like let's say you have a favorite hobby, you're like, oh my God, I love playing piano. It like fills my soul. Like I get on those keys and man, I feel like just so fulfilled. And you pop on a GLP-1 and all of a sudden you're like, I don't really care. Like piano, whatever. And the most concerning thing is that when you stop it, your desire may not return. There's a percentage, I don't know what it is, but there's a percentage chance that it may not return. And I've been telling people, you know, if I had a drug where I gave it to you and you would lose, you know, your body fat would go from 35% to, as long as you were on it, it would go down, and eventually you could get to 15% body fat, but you would not be able to use your dominant arm. So if you're right-handed, you can't use your right hand. If you're left-handed, you can't use your left hand. And it's just paralyzed. It just dangles there. And it starts to atrophy and wither away, and it's just this dangling appendage. And if you ever stop the drug, there's only a 40 to 50% chance that you'll regain some use of it. Would you do that? Would you say, yeah, sign me up? I want to be 15% body fat. I want to be ripped. I want to have abs. But my dominant arm, whatever. I'll learn how to use my other hand. Would you do that? And then if you throw on top of it, and you may not want to have sex anymore, or you may not enjoy the color purple as much as you do now, would you want to do that? And I think people, if they thought of it like that, because like when you take a GLP-1, you're literally temporarily paralyzing your GI tract. You're slowing it down to the point where it doesn't work like it's supposed to. That is why people have so many GI problems. And when you stop it, it may or may not come back to full use. It's a problem, and I don't think this drug has been around long enough to really figure out the long-term effects of this 20 years from now.
It's been around, but there's not a lot of studies.
But
the studies that are coming out and the lawsuits that are occurring are very scary and very serious, because people are permanently having paralyzed stomachs. they're blind, they're just wrecked, and
then they put
all
the weight
for
back
what?
on because they didn't change their eating habits. So you get all that plus.
It's emotional trauma, it's binge eating, it's also addiction to food in the United States. Everything's addictive. Food is processed, fake, made to make you sick so that they can sell you that GLP-1, which is also disgusting because I've started seeing more commercials for these protein-packed, Pop-Tarts or whatever to
Pancakes
take with your...
that are 20 grams of protein. Like,
anything
really?
packaged. Kodiak cakes, I'm sorry. Like, none of that stuff is good for you.
No.
And they're giving these GLP-1s to people without explaining how to actually nourish their body. Our society is completely malnourished, and it's really daunting to witness.
And on top of that, when you have a podcast like this and people talk about it like this, everybody shits on you. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about. You just don't want me to be healthy. It's like, what are you talking about?
And then the other people are like, those are probably robots. I'm like, I really don't think they are. I think there are people who really don't see what's going on.
No, there's a lot of people who follow what their doctor says. The doctor says, hey, you know what? You're borderline type 2 diabetic. Your BMI is 39, and your body fat percentage is 40, and I think GLP-1 is right for you. But that same doctor will never say, hey, you know what? You are way outside of the realm of health. You're going to have a ton of medical issues in the next 20 years if you don't do something about that. And I'm gonna set you up with a basic diet plan. We're gonna put you in a calorie deficit. I'm gonna prescribe a workout program. Your insurance is gonna cover the gym and a personal trainer. I mean, how much cheaper would that be? A personal trainer and a gym than $1,200 a month for a GLP-1. And I know in other countries, and then the new administration has the Trump whatever prescription plan is cheaper now. But still, let's say it's $600 a month. What's a personal trainer a month? $150?
No, they're expensive. They're like $500 a month.
All right, still cheaper.
And eating healthy is not expensive. That's another thing that is really frustrating.
Not when you're in a calorie deficit, and if you're eating nutrition. Yeah, I mean, you can get crazy and be like, I only eat T-bone steaks.
But
even still, you can
very
only
cheap and eat very clean, great quality, nutrient dense food.
True. Yeah, you don't have to go crazy.
You don't need to buy 12 ingredients to eat good nutrients.
No.
You can buy one thing, steak. You can buy one thing, chicken, pork, whatever.
Yeah.
You can afford to actually give your body nutrients.
I think once you realize how simple how there is a very small amount of quality nutritious food out there. So when you go to the grocery store, there's 10,000 things you can buy on the shelves. And once you realize that 97% of that is crap and you can't eat it because it's not actually food, it's calories, but it's not nutritional food, that gives you 3% of the things that you can buy. And like, our diet is very simple. It's basic. And it makes a big difference in when you eliminate all the crazy stuff, all the nonsense and all the colorful packaging and all the yumminess, and you just get down to eating what's healthy. It makes your choices much easier. And then exercise. But my point was that no doctor will ever prescribe exercise. Mm-mm. No insurance will ever pay for a patient. No. I mean, not a an HMO doctor for a big corporation, medical conglomerate, blah blah blah. No, they're just going to keep pumping out those meds. Like type 2 diabetes is a cash cow for the medical industry. You know how many dialysis clinics fire up and just crank out dialysis patients all over America? They have dialysis cruises. Like, the people on the cruise need dialysis Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but they want to go cruise. But they're so unhealthy, they need all the blood sucked out of their body 3 times a week, filtered and put back in. Like, huh? How did you get there?
Cruises ended up being the worst invention ever because
Yeah.
it turned people into just eating machines and not moving. You're on a ship and then you go on a corner of a piece of land, kind of see the place that you're traveling, get back on the ship, sit for days, eat at the buffet all night. It's just, I don't enjoy cruises anymore because of that, because I realize it's, you're not really experiencing culture. You're just, it's a scam.
Yeah, but I mean, a dialysis cruise seems
And
like
that's
the
also
grossest
just
like
gross.
level of like.
And it's like, why is nobody talking about that? Why
Well,
are dialysis cruises a thing?
I guess
Why?
they would say that how dare you, because you don't want people who are on dialysis to enjoy life. No, I do.
No,
I do,
want
but
people to enjoy life at the highest quality. Why isn't prevention being talked about?
right, like
How do we prevent you from being on a dialysis cruise? And if you really want to go on a cruise just to eat your heart out,
right.
whatever. But take care of your body enough so you. What?
There should be like okay, if you are 75, we will no longer have dialysis cruises for anybody under 75 years old because everybody under 75, we're going to prevent them from having kidney failure from type 2 diabetes. Mm-hmm. It's completely reversible.
Yeah.
Type 2 diabetes and the problems that it causes is completely avoidable. It's all about food.
How do you think it's avoidable and reversible? What have you seen?
It's reversible as long as you've not gone so far where you have organ damage. So, it's...
What do people do?
So you got to stop eating anything carbohydrate or any kind of sugars. You got to cut them out completely. When your average blood sugar is 250, 300, and you're chowing down, like breakfast, you have 2 waffles, a bagel, a banana, and a bowl of Cheerios. You just had 1,200 calories, all carbohydrates for breakfast, and then you're like, oh, I need a snack. Snickers, I heard it's good for snacks. It's got peanuts in it. That's healthy, right? It's
Not
like,
even that, like anything.
Oh, a granola bar. That's
bars,
healthy.
Even protein bars.
Oh,
these
protein
days.
bars. That's candy. Protein bars are candy.
Protein
That's
bars are full of natural flavors, chemicals, random carcinogen ingredients.
Protein bars are disgusting. Don't ever eat a protein bar.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And I used to chow those down.
Yeah, I thought I was being healthy.
Protein drinks are full of horrible ingredients.
I still do those. I still do those a little bit.
You know what? It's not. You do what you can, and you do what you want for your body. You
I
just
get the
know
best
that
kind that I can to supplement protein. But
yes, what you put in your body is information for your body to use for specific functions. So you need certain nutrients for your body to function properly, and it's okay to supplement protein. But you should also be eating real protein,
real food.
And if you need that because you want to grow muscle like Matt, then supplement protein.
Right.
But don't use that as a meal.
No, you should never substitute,
in my opinion,
a meal. It should be a supplement. So if you're trying to get to 180 grams of protein a day, sometimes you need a protein shake, just to get you over the top of that protein, that goal, because it's hard to eat that much protein. It's doable. It's just sometimes, with life and stuff. But at any rate, with type 2 diabetes, you can, if you reduce or eliminate the carbohydrates and the sugars from your life and switch over to a lean, animal-based protein diet, your body will change. It will start to burn fats. And believe me, most of these people have tons of fat. They'll lose the fat. They need to get their body fat down. They need to start walking if possible. And unfortunately, it's like a point of no return. They go to the doctor, they get their annual blood work done. The doctor says, oh, your A1C is 5.9 or it's 6.2. You're right on the borderline of type 2 diabetes. We're going to give you metformin. Boom. It's like when they used to say, pot's the entry-level drug. Metformin is the entry-level drug for type 2 diabetes. And they go, great, I'm on metformin. Now I can have my ice cream every night, and I can have my Snicker bar.
But then the defending argument is I educate them on eating well and proper diet.
Please.
They also get referred to a dietitian, supposedly. But what are the dietitians educated on?
Please.
Who funds the dietitian's education?
Yeah. Even if, let's say
that's not a hit on dietitians. That's a hit on the system.
Right. Even if they went to a dietitian, which I guarantee the vast majority of newly diagnosed type 2 diabetics do not go to the dietitian. But even if they did, two things. What is the dietitian telling them? They're telling them, oh, we're going to limit carbohydrates, but you can have pancakes for breakfast. We don't want you to have any kind of animal fats because that's cholesterol. And you can have a banana and some other, and you can have a couple, like one Coke a day, and like this, like stupid stuff. Like what? No, that's not going to get them. That's not going to get them out of that type 2 diabetes. And then let's say they really focused and paid attention to that dietitian. How much are they going to retain? How much knowledge from that one meeting with a dietitian are they going to retain and build on? Nothing. Remember, if you don't know anything about diet, exercise, metabolic rates, and how food works, you don't know anything about it, and you've been eating like your normal daily thing is like, well, I get up and I have a McMuffin in the morning. I head on over to McDonald's. I get a McMuffin and a hash brown, like whatever, and then I go over to Starbucks and I get my double super grande macchiato bullshit sugar water, and then by lunch I'll head on over to the Burger King and I get me a. It's got meat in it. It's a double super king burger. No. And they're like, it's got meat in it. Okay, whatever. What are you doing? And you had the large fries. But I got a Diet Coke. Great. You got 64 ounces of Diet Coke. That's terrible for you. But they're not going to retain any of that information. You know what they will retain? I take my metformin every day. I don't understand why I started, my sugars went down to 120. Not good. And when I started taking it, and now they're back up to 200. But I've been eating the same way. I'm not, maybe I had an extra donut, every day. I did have that, Mounds bar. But I got my metformin. They're not learning anything, and they're not taking it seriously because they don't know that. I guarantee, if the way we treated patients, if we were like, hey, your A1C is 5.9, you're getting real close to type 2 diabetes. I'm going to show you some pictures, and then you whip out a book of necrotic feet and be like, so. In 10 years, I can put you on this drug called metformin, and you can keep eating the same way you are. And in 10 years, you have a pretty good chance that one of your feet maybe both, might look like this. Or at least you won't be able to feel them anymore. And then 10 years out from that, your kidneys will probably be in bad shape and stop working. So, do you want to go the metformin route, or would you like to maybe change the way you eat? You can have a super healthy, long life, enjoy all kinds of great foods, but you're going to have to learn about nutrition. Which would you like to do? Oh, and show them a video of someone getting their fistula or their AV shunt accessed for dialysis, and then show how great the dialysis patients look while they're getting all their blood sucked out of their body, filtered, and put back in. With no
limbs.
Yeah, like, oh, look at this one. This one's got no foot there. He has to have a bed van take him to dialysis every day. That looks like fun. But if you can walk and you're on dialysis 3 times a week, they do have cruises. So, bonus.
It just makes me hopeful for a healthier society. Because after seeing that constantly and how normalized it was, that's what drives me, is just that's not normal.
Yeah.
None of this is normal, and it got so infested in our society.
You're more hopeful than I am. I gave up on everybody. I was like, you're out there trying to make a difference, and I'm just like, well, it seems
very hopeless, but why not be a hopeless voice than no voice?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I know that seems stupid and cliche, but
you're doing the Lord's work out there, you're trying to educate people and get people's eyes open to it. But then you have so I don't care what your political affiliation is. I really don't. I don't care if you hate the current administration or you love them. The Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is trying to make changes.
Really impactful
changes in our healthcare system, and you have these. It's weird. You have judges who literally have some kind of crazy hatred for the administration. Like there's this judge in Boston that just temporarily halted the changes that he's made to the vaccine schedule, to dietary guidelines and things, and it's like. And then he blocked the ACIP panel. So ACIP it's a panel for scientific review of vaccines and things like that. And he fired everybody on it because they were all tied to Big Pharma. Everybody on the ACIP panel was tied to Big Pharma. Don't you think that would be a conflict of interest?
Yeah.
If I was on a panel reviewing how awesome I was and I was paying everybody at a job, and then they sat on a panel and I was like, go ahead, tell them on this panel how awesome I am. Do you think maybe they would have a biased opinion? Yeah, maybe. So he got rid of anybody that was affiliated with Big Pharma and put people on the panel that were skeptical of everything. Not just they weren't sheep, yes, we don't believe in vaccines. They were, well, let's look at the science, the actual science. Let's challenge what has been said. And if there isn't science, let's make the science. Let's fund the studies. And they came up with the vaccine schedule, and this judge, which I don't understand why a judge would be able to block this, but whatever. He was like, no, you can't do that. You can't, that panel is suspended until you get more, Big Pharma representative people on it? What? So, of course it'll all be appealed and it'll all be overturned because clearly this guy is trying to make a political point. But isn't that how the government works? So you elect people and then they appoint people to the positions and then those people make decisions and that's how it works.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just a weird, to me, it's a very weird thing. There was no judge that stopped the COVID vaccine with no research, no backing. They came out and be like, it's 99% effective. If you get the shot, you won't get COVID and you can't spread it. Fact. Lie. You fucking liars. They knew it didn't stop getting the disease. They knew it didn't stop you from giving it to someone else. They fucking lied. And now you get doctors going, well, it prevents hospital admission. Does it? And they're like, yeah, because we have less people admitted for COVID.
Because they're dying at home.
No, or is it just COVID doesn't make people go to the hospital anymore because it's like 5-10 generations less virile than it was when it first came out? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't have any science to back that up. Oh, yeah. The COVID vaccine, yeah, it doesn't, you can get it. If you get the vaccine, yeah, you'll still get it. It doesn't, if you get it, you'll still spread it, but you won't go to the hospital. What? How do you know that? You know how many people I get discharged from the hospital every day that went in because they have COVID? Fucking all the time. All the time. Don't tell me the vaccine doesn't prevent people from going to the hospital. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So but no judge swooped in and said, hey, you can't say this is, 100%, 99% effective and you can't get it and you won't spread it. No judge swooped in for that. Totally fine.
But it's not just that. It's everything everything's corrupt. Our government's corrupt, healthcare's corrupt, our food industry's corrupt, our air is corrupt, everything is corrupt. Our crops are corrupt, we're corrupt.
Say corrupt again.
Corrupt.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's frustrating. It does make me want to go start a commune. No, I hate other people. I wouldn't start a commune, but
I do. Just the right people and the right spacing. Like we would have
like
acres
5 miles away from each other.
5 acres each.
And don't come on my property or I'll shoot you.
Exactly, but
well,
when we want to have gatherings.
That's not a commune. That's a community.
Chosen community.
A chosen community.
It doesn't have to be a commune. It can be a chosen community. Yeah. It's really heavy how...
When you say it, what are you referring to?
How normal it is to be unhealthy.
Oh, yeah. What is it? 70% of Americans are overweight now?
So as someone who was not very overweight, but I was very unhealthy... And now I'm truly healthy, not in the sense of eat your greens and I chew on leaves all day and I'm healthy. I literally figured out how my body works, how my nervous system works, how my gut works, how everything's connected. And I'm still learning. I'm not saying I know everything, but there's a difference. And when you feel it and you start being around other people, just even your peers or people you know or your family or even strangers, you start realizing how disconnected humans are from themselves simply through food. A simple change. There's other things that need to be changed. Humans aren't spending any time outdoors, so their hormones are messed up because nobody's getting real vitamin D anymore. We're not moving, we're not walking, so that is frustrating for me. That is something that I feel like I always want to talk about because it's something that needs to be changed in our society and doesn't exist in other countries because we have walkable cities and we don't have chemicals in our food. It's actually banned because our government actually does its job and protects the people, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know how you get people to change their concept of food, because in our current society as it's structured, food has a different meaning than it did 120 years ago. So in 1906 there wasn't fast food. I mean, there would have been a diner, but you would go to the diner, you'd sit down, you'd eat, and you'd go home. There'd be restaurants, but there wasn't fast food. There wasn't something. There wasn't like the. I don't think there was really drive-throughs. It wasn't a thing, and if there were, they were few and far between and rare. And it was, if anything, you would get the food, go pick it up, go home, sit down, and eat a meal. And our relationship with food as Americans has become this negative, destructive force in most people's lives. I saw this thing that's been going around online about it's a debate forum called Jubilee, where you have one person with one opinion and then 20 other people debate that person. And right now, Jillian Michaels,
the brunette.
Yeah, she was on the Biggest Loser.
Yeah,
her.
Michaels.
Sorry. Yeah, that's Jillian Michaels. I don't know her name. But she's debating these people, and they're coming up with the craziest shit. She's sitting there talking about nutrition facts, and you got this nutrition coach comes up and sits down and goes, first of all, I don't want to use the O word, because she said people are obese.
Oh.
And the woman is literally not arguing with anything that is being said factually about nutrition. As a matter of fact, she goes, I am not here to argue the science because I'm not a doctor. I don't understand. But mostly we can't use the O word. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't say obese? It's a medical terminology. And you know what she wanted to say instead? Fat-bodied people. That's better than obese? Fat-bodied people? You fat-bodied person? Like, that sounds like an insult. Oh, man, you are a fat-bodied person. Or should I say, oh, man, you're obese. Man, you are a fat-bodied person. You're a fat-bodied person. Man, you're obese. Like, what's...
Or
like,
we should just start saying that this isn't normal. Obesity
yeah, this is
isn't
stupid.
normal.
What are we arguing? Her whole
and then
thing
you
was...
have people fighting for obese people saying it's a chronic condition. Yeah, a chronic eating disorder.
Yeah.
And lack of movement disorder.
And there's lots of reasons why people have these eating disorders. Like
obesity doesn't just happen. I bet you if I followed you in your life and you are an overweight or obese person, I could tell you exactly what is causing you to be obese.
Yeah. Most people underestimate their calories by at least 50%. Oh, I only eat like 2,000 calories a day. You eat 4,000.
But the mind comes up with so many excuses.
Oh, of course. Because in our day and time, it is acceptable to say, well, it's not my fault. I have XYZ problem, issue, disease, whatever. So it's outside of my control. I'm a fat-bodied person. I can't stop how fat I am because I'm a fat-bodied person. So you have to make accommodation for me. Like, I don't have to accommodate shit. Your fatness should not affect me in any way. You're going to die super painfully and slowly when you're 65 because, you're going to have 10 years from your 55 to 65 where shit's falling off on you and you're on 30 different medications and you can barely go anywhere or do anything because you feel like crap all the time. Hey, enjoy. That's the choice you made. Or you could accept that you're putting too much food of the wrong kind in your mouth and take the steps, get the treatment, be it psychological, be it whatever, to stop doing this. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's worth it.
It's necessary.
Yeah. The first of all, the society cannot survive a medical system where 70% of the population is overweight, which would mean that you're going to have comorbidities and problems, medical problems that are going to just exponentially explode.
Oh, we're
like
at that point.
You can't pay into assist the healthy 30% cannot support the effed up 70%. That's just not how it works. It's supposed to be flipped the other way. You're supposed to have 70% healthy people and 30% unhealthy, and that's how a system would work.
Yeah.
But it's all effed up, and nobody wants to do anything about it. You're trying to do something about it. I'm not.
It's not... I don't know what to do, honestly. You just do whatever you can or want to do.
Well, yeah, what you're doing is you have a platform, and
I'm just trying to use a voice with a bunch of voices behind me, because some people can't. They work in a hospital still. You know, I'm very grateful that I'm able to live the life that I do, and I'm able to work a job that doesn't stress me out, and I'm stronger now as an individual, and I understand my body now, and I realize that working in the emergency room, not just the emergency room, hospital system, anything that controls you in a way that doesn't seem normal or natural. I've lost my thought.
It's okay. But you were
Once
talking
you get
about
out of that system, it's very freeing and very...
Yeah, absolutely. I was in the system for life. I was a lifer. I got out of the emergency room because of your seizures. I was like, I can't be gone for 12 hours, come home to her, on the floor having seized all day long. Can't do that. I need a work from home job so I can keep an eye on her until we figure this out. Mm-hmm. And that's why I got that job. I started looking for work from home jobs. And then I was like, oh my God, that's the best job ever. I don't ever want to go back to
Talk about your nervous system after going from ER job.
I didn't realize how effed up I was until...
You noticed a difference?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was so just constantly, like, my stress level was just constantly humming. I'd walk into the ER and just go, okay, give me a report. 12 hours, here we go. And I mean, at the end, let's say I was like, I got like 2 hours left in a 12-hour shift, and I'd be like, all right, my beds are full. I don't have any discharges. Everybody's tucked away. Okay, I can just ride this out for 2 hours. I'll be okay. And then some dickhead charge nurse would pull two of my patients out and go, we're putting them in the hallway because they're admits, and we're going to go ahead and fill your beds with these two new ones. And they're like, fuck. And then, like, the doctor, you get some, like, douchebag who's like, the patient comes in and they're like, oh, my stomach hurts, whatever. And they're like, septic workup. And then you got to do, like, everything. They order, like, 30 labs, CTs, the whole, like, everything. And you're like, God damn it. I thought I was on cruise, and now, nope, mm-mm. And, and then they're like, and on your second bed that we took your other admitted patient out of, we're going to put a psych in. But they're fine. They're totally chill. They're just talking to the wall right now. Yeah, they're totally chill until...
Bashing their head against the wall.
Until you go, okay, so you got to take your clothes off, because they weren't in a gown before that. They were in their street clothes with their, like, 4 bags of homelessy shit. And now you're like, okay, we got to take all this stuff away. And they're like, what? I'm going to fucking kill you. And now all of a sudden you got to deal with that. That's a typical day in the ER. You're like, you thought you were going to coast it out for those last 2 hours where you're really exhausted. And now you got to deal with, like, the guy who calls himself, Lord of the Monkeys and is going to fight you. And, 37-year-old, 330-pound abdominal pain who's been there to the ER 7 times in the past month. And nobody could figure out why you guys never do anything for me. Like, we do everything for you. You're probably going to get cancer from all the CAT scans you've had, but whatever.
Along with your obesity
Right.
issues.
Yeah. So like I was at that like max level of just like intensity all the time, and then I would get off work and just, I don't fucking want to go back there again, but I gotta go back. And now with this new job, I'm like I had someone freak out on me on the phone the other day. This chick was nuts. And she was just like, I was just trying to tell him about some lab results. The doctor was like, hey, can you call this person, let them know about the lab results? Yeah, sure, no problem. Like, they're not good, but it wasn't like, all right, you have cancer, you know. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, yeah, your labs are a little worse, whatever. So I started telling him, and the lady like fucking flips out on me. I don't want to hear this from you. I need to hear this from the doctor. Make me right now.
And it wasn't even the patient.
And it wasn't even the patient. It was the patient's family member. And I'm like, it was just a nightmare. I'm like, And then she's like, you're a dick. You're being an asshole. Why are you scaring me? You're scaring my dad. And I was like, I'm just trying to tell you the labs. Do you want to know the labs or not? And she's like, you're starting to fucking piss me off. I'm like, goodbye. Click. As soon as you cuss at me on this job, I'm like, goodbye. Done. Hang up. In the ER, I'd have to be like, security. And then a 5'2", 64-year-old woman would come over and be like, hey, stop. Calm down. You don't need to be like that. We don't tolerate abuse in the ER. Like,
I can't touch the patient.
I'm like, can we restrain him? I am not allowed to touch the patient, sir.
I'm here for observation.
I'm here for observation and recording. So, like, yeah, my stress level has gone down. Do I care if I lost my skills? Fuck no. Like, I don't care. Like, I could probably start an IV. Like, if someone said you have to be back in the ER tomorrow, in a week, I'd be right back. Like, I never left. It wouldn't even be a big deal. Yeah, the first few shifts would be a little struggle, but, you know, so what? It's like riding a bike. It's not like I forgot, you know. There's physical skills to doing stuff, but I still remember it. I don't have dementia. Stupid. Yet.
They're spraying our skies.
Yeah.
We're gonna get dementia.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I don't take statins.
Well,
no
aluminum,
statins, no Benadryl.
There's studies that show that high aluminum is causing dementia. And aluminum is in the weather modification. Cloud seeding.
I stopped eating aluminum a long time ago.
That you know of.
That I know. No, they are spraying that shit, and that's another thing that we need to. That's the thing that really pisses me off. Like, if there's one thing that makes me angry.
Really, that's it? That?
No, that's at the top of my list because, like...
Mine's the food, man. Just...
Yeah, but we can still choose to eat food. I can't
but
choose...
how do you know?
I can't go get a rocket launcher and shoot down an airplane that's spraying shit.
You weren't supposed to tell anyone.
Yeah, well, that's illegal, and I would never do that. I'm just saying I can't do that, but I can go to the grocery store and go, well, that's bullshit. I'm not eating that. But I can't do anything. I can't do a damn thing about what they're spraying over my head. And they just do it every day. And
I think at night.
Yeah. I mean,
all night.
They're just, yeah. And why? I don't know. You know, like, it used to be like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Those are contrails. They're not chemtrails. No, they're spraying chemical shit. You can watch it. It's like a 10-mile long line of shit that expands through the sky. Like a condensation trail is about, you know, a mile long, and it disappears as the plane goes away.
Yeah.
It's condensation. It's water. It evaporates. These chemtrails are. It's like, it's not a theory. The guys who do it. It was on Sean Ryan's show. He's like, yeah, we spray the skies every day. The government pays us to do it. I was like, okay, and it's like crickets. Everybody's just like,
what part of the government allows
it was
this?
It was DARPA, I think. RFK was even asked about the chemtrails, and he was like, that's not my department, so I can't do anything about it. But then the EPA, the director of the EPA, was like, this is my wheelhouse, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, because this is not okay what's going on. And you can go to the director of the EPA. He had a whole press conference about it, and it probably got 30 seconds of airtime on, the television channels. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They just don't give a shit. And then when you bring it up, they look at you like you're crazy.
I know. It definitely feels like nobody cares just about anything.
And then you start wondering, well, like, are they putting a chemical in there that makes you not care? And how come I care?
I don't think so. I think it's awake versus asleep.
Yeah.
Even some people in power, I think, are asleep and unaware of what's going on.
Or worse, they're getting a kickback.
Both.
Yeah.
You can convince someone, oh, you're not, it's not that bad,
We're doing it to help the global warming, which is
whatever.
A scam.
Yeah. Crazy.
We should have had our tinfoil hats on for that one.
I know, that went deep. Sorry, guys.
But it's not even a theory anymore. It is. It's not even a conspiracy. It just is. It's a thing that's happening.
Well, conspiracy means they're
conspiring
against us. So yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like usually a conspiracy is like, shh, we're gonna do this, and let's keep it on the down low.
The thing is, they changed the name. Everyone uses it now. It's overused. It's used in the wrong ways. It's not well thought out, and I get it. I used to just label people very easily because I just didn't want to learn anything and I didn't care, but now I care to a certain extent. I'm not obsessing, but I just want to be aware in the best way possible for what I've experienced in life. And I think everyone's experience is different, so why don't we share ideas from whatever we've experienced? Isn't that how we get through this? Otherwise, if we're all hush-hush about it,
or if we're all...
we can't help each other.
If nobody wants to listen to each other, that's a big problem that we're having right now.
The listening.
Yeah,
nobody
everybody...
wants to.
You tell someone, oh, yeah, you're obese and GLP-1s probably aren't the best choice. I'm just saying scientific stuff, like there's other ways that you would be healthier and that were... Maybe you wouldn't paralyze your stomach or whatever. Other options. One is super simple. Give myself a shot every week. I mean, I guess if you like sulfur burps and immediate diarrhea, it's one choice. If you like a paralyzed stomach, sure, cool. But, if you want to actually physically be healthy, there's another road. And if people would just stop assuming a nefarious motive, like you're saying this because you want to hurt me and you're a bad person. It's like, no, I want everybody to be healthy and happy. And
when did that culture change on social media where it was always... It's like you're being attacked through people's posts. Like,
I think it's
about me.
Yeah, it's
and
a narcissism.
When I read your post, that hurt my feelings because this drug worked for me. And I'm cool, ecstatic that this drug worked for you, but that's not what this post is about. And you labeling it misinformation or misleading or misguiding, what created this negative environment instead of being like, thank you or nothing, or how about, I'm curious about this, maybe I'll look up the opposing argument to what I think about because I don't agree with this post, but I want to share my disagreement and give my proof that I believe
your counter
is right.
opinion instead of fuck you.
I want to
asshole.
learn from people, and I want to share things that I'm learning. So I'm not sharing it to say, look, I'm right. I'm sharing it to say, hey, this is the information I'm finding. Does anyone else have any information on these drugs, or do we have other information that I'm not finding? What's going on? Because we should be aware as a society, not fighting each other for stupid things. This is crazy.
It shouldn't be teams. We shouldn't have your team and my team, and your team just wants to tear us down. Like, what are you talking about? It's just health. Do you want to be healthy or not? Like there's one way that will sustain your current lifestyle, but there are health consequences. Or there's another way that takes more effort, but you'll be far happier and live a longer, healthier life. Of course, you make the decision, but you shouldn't attack other people for presenting an alternate idea and pathway. Like, attacking someone for giving you a different way to do something is so narcissistic and stupid. Like, get over yourself. Like, if you want to fucking gobble down GLP-1s and inject 3 or 4 shots a day, knock yourself out. I don't care. But when you come to me and go, oh, I have like sulfur burps and I shit myself immediately, and I go, yeah, that's a thing that'll happen. Don't be like, oh, you don't care. Make my GLP-1 better.
And then you have the people bouncing GLP-1s, like, this one stopped working, so I want to try it.
Let me go, like X brand didn't work, so let me go to Y brand.
And it's not a shame. It's just, it's so apparent and so consistent and great. It has worked for so many people, for whatever people are saying. It's helped with their inflammation and their pain and menopause and this and that. And that's awesome, but I just disagree that that's the answer. I think the awareness of our food system and really truly nourishing the body and not going extreme towards certain diets. You can do carnivore, you can do whatever, but cutting,
just do low carbohydrate.
Yeah, just a whole food based diet.
Yeah,
don't
whole food.
Eat processed food. It's not complicated. It's very simple, and it just is the way humans function. And I think that's what we lack as a society in the United States, is remembering how humans live and how our ancestors lived and how they ate, and hunters and gatherers. And we're not gathering anymore. We're not
hunting anymore.
Well,
yeah, like, so it shouldn't be controversial for me to say only eat food that you cook yourself, and if it goes bad within 3 days, you should eat
besides
it.
a few things.
There's a few things that will
you
last.
You can keep a long time.
Right, like eggs, but
like
some
other
dairy
things.
and stuff. But basically, if it has an obvious expiration date, like you sniff it and it's gone bad, then that's
just
probably
real
healthy
ingredients.
to eat. Real ingredients.
Is it a real food? Is it
right? Cook it yourself.
Not something packaged.
Right. Cook it yourself and eat that, and then only eat enough of it to satisfy you. And that shouldn't be controversial. That shouldn't be like, you hate like me, or you think I'm a bad person because I'm a fat-bodied person. Like, what?
I think people think they're special, and you're not really that special. All humans are pretty much made the same, and it's pretty simple that you just need to eat good, nutrient, real food and cut out the processed food, and you'll feel like a human, and you won't have these feelings anymore, and you'll actually function like a human being.
Yeah, I wish the society would stop focusing on the self and get back to understanding that everything's not about you, and that
we're helping each other.
Right. Let's all get along and make the best of this little adventure as we can, like.
Yeah.
We don't have to hate each other because we disagree on things. If you want to have all the GLP-1s in the world, go ahead. I don't care. I would never ban GLP-1s. I just, hey, be aware. Be aware of what it is you're doing. Mm-hmm. You signed up to paralyze one arm. Okay, cool, man. That's your choice. But then don't bitch that my arm doesn't work, Another
thing with GLP-1s is the lack of education. I don't think people are getting educated properly. They're just being told that this is the miracle drug regardless. So yes, there's the people that are educating themselves and doing independent research and doing all the work and all the diet, but that's not the majority. No. The majority are finding the cheapest way to get it, and want the quickest way to lose weight, to control inflammation, to control whatever they say the miracle is happening. But there's still not long-term studies done, and bad things are happening to people.
Even if it's only 20% of people that are on GLP-1s have these side effects, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Yeah, 80% of the people may be benefited from this, but 20%, when you have tens of millions of people, you're talking about millions of people whose lives will be forever changed in a negative way. And I think that really needs to be examined, and people need to understand the risk of doing this. And they should be given an alternative. Well, instead of this is the extreme thing. Like you're so in such a bad shape, and mentally you can't do it, financially you can't do it, you can't eat right. I get it. I think weighing all the pros and cons, this might be the drug for you. I think that would be a better way to look at it than, hey, your A1C is 6.2, here's some metformin. Or, hey, you know what? You want to lose 50 pounds? Here's a GLP-1. I mean, what? What? We're not even talking about the alternatives anymore. And if you do, you're a hateful bigot who has some kind of political slant. Like what? Like no, that's retarded. Get some hate on that one. Retarded. Said it again. I never stopped.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
All right, well, this is where we'll stop.
That's a good way to wrap it up with the R word. If you don't like us...
You don't like being realist?
No, I was going to say you're retarded. I was going to do it together. Let's try it again. If you don't like us, you're retarded. Yeah, there we go.
Thanks for watching and listening. And if you like this episode, share this with a friend. Share this with someone who's on a GLP-1 and will get mad at it.
Eat healthy, exercise. Take care of yourself. Nurses, it's not a calling, it's a job.
Yeah, eat healthy. Nourish your body.
Yeah.
Protect your body.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you next time.